What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. As some of you will likely know by now, Joanna Cherry and her fellow traitors court case suffered epic failure today when the judge hearing it refused their petition because obviously it's completely without merit and, to be honest, should never have even got there. I would expect all the other cases to follow the same route soon, since prorogation is not only legal but it's also a political decision which law cannot involve itself in.
The second subheading is the issue raised justiciable? In my opinion, the authorities discussed during the submissions vouch the following propositions. The exercise of some prerogative powers in some circumstances is justiciable. In other cases, it is not. The court's role in relation to prerogative powers is dependent on the nature and the subject matter of the power or its exercise, particularly on whether the subject matter is justiciable. Whether the exercise of a prerogative power is reviewable depends on the subject matter and the context of the power and of the challenge. Some functions exercised or decisions taken are non-justiciable. Among them are matters of high policy and political judgment. The court does not have the tools or standards to assess the legality of such matters. That is political territory and decision-making which cannot be measured against legal standards, but rather only by political judgments. The courts will not seek to superimpose legal controls on such matters. Rather, the accountability for them is to Parliament and the electorate. I am not persuaded that any of the matters relied upon by the petitioners or the Lord Advocate result in the claim being justiciable. In my view, the advice given in relation to the prorogation decision is a matter involving high policy and political judgment. This is political territory and decision-making which cannot be measured against legal standards, but only by political judgments. Accountability for the advice is to Parliament and ultimately the electorate, and not to the courts. I do not accept the submission that the prorogation contravenes the rule of law and that the claim is justiciable because of that. In my opinion, there has been no contravention of the rule of law. The power to prorogue is a prerogative power, and the Prime Minister had the virus to advise the Sovereign as to its exercise. The Executive is accountable to Parliament and the electorate for the advice to prorogate. Parliament is the master of its own proceedings, rules and privileges, and has exclusive control over its own affairs. The separation of powers entails that the courts will not interfere. It is for Parliament to decide when it will sit, and it routinely does so. It is not for the courts to devise further restraints on prorogation which go beyond the limits which Parliament has chosen to provide. Parliament can sit before and after the prorogation. It has recently, in the Northern Ireland Executive Formation Act 2009, Section 3, exercised its legislative power to make provision about periods when it should sit. That is sufficient to dispose of the petition.
Right, so the judge started off by explaining the law's limited role when it comes to prerogative powers, which by the sounds of it, is more than limited. They can't do anything, because as he states, the court does not have the tools or the standard to assess the legality of these matters, since they are political territory that cannot be measured by legal standards. Let's not forget, any time the PM uses a prerogative power, he could claim it's political, and the courts cannot touch it. You can make anything political these days, so the Remoaners are fucked when it comes to courts and prerogative power. The judge himself points out accountability is to Parliament and the electorate, Well, maybe the judge needs to see a few of these MPs who have betrayed the people that voted them in, because they are not being held accountable right now, especially not by Parliament when you consider what happened last night. You hear the judge say nothing the Remoaning fuck pigs matters relied on result in the claim being justiciable because it's political judgment or high policy. Take your pick which one you want, either could be used. It's a power within the rights of the government of the day to use given to him by the Queen. There is no hope in hell this could ever have got through. These idiots should have known this. I'm sure one of Joanna Cherry's actually a lawyer. This judge could and should have just said this shit is completely without merit and has no right to have even been brought forward. His claim that is sufficient to dispose of this petition, though, should be changed to take your pointless petition and wipe your syphilis-infested snatch with it because that's all it's good for now. It's essentially toilet paper.
Finally, I should say something about the reasons for the prorogation given by the respondent. Even if, contrary to my view, the claim is justiciable, in my opinion, the context in which those reasons would fall to be assessed would be that political judgments may be relevant and legitimate considerations. On the basis of the material which I have seen, I am not persuaded that the reasons for the advice were unlawful. I shall refuse the petition.
Well, there you have it. The judge says those sweet, sweet words. Petition refused, as we all knew it would be. The fact this even gets to court while Brexiteer cases like Robin Tilbrook get delayed, stalled or thrown out before even being heard goes to show that the courts are biased against Brexit but cannot go against the Queen or the Prime Minister when it comes to prerogative powers. I know, as I've said many times, this case stood no chance, but it does give me more confidence that Gina Miller's case will be chucked out fairly quickly now. There's already precedent, and I don't know that it really differs too much from this. Hopefully Boris has some prerogative powers he can use to stop the traitors in Parliament with their anti-Brexit bill going through today. I guess we will have to wait and see. Well, I'm going to end the video there, guys. It was just a quick one to let you know about this. I want to thank the channel's PayPal, Patreon and Subscribe Star members for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Remember to let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Leave a like, subscribe and share this video as it helps the channel a lot, and I will see you all in the next one.